Wild Botswana. Episode 2. The Eternal Rhythm of the Untamed Land. Africa, a land of sun, wind, and an unfathomable silence filled with the voices of those who walked here long before us. Nothing is wasted, and everything that exists has its rightful place. This is a world where life and death are not enemies, but two sides of the same great circle. A world where nature speaks in the roar of lions, the whisper of dry grass beneath a leopard's paws, and the flowing murmur of the Okavango River. As the morning sun rises above the horizon, the savannah glows gold. Light spills across the plains, where, among the tall grasses, an elephant moves silently, slicing through the dense air with its massive ears. Its trunk draws in the scent of a new day, the rich aroma of earth soaked in the moisture of dawn. In the shade of acacia trees, lions doze, rulers of this land. They do not rush. They know, here there is no room for wasted movement. Botswana is the heart of Africa, and it beats in rhythm with the Great Migration. Wildebeests surge towards the horizon like a never-ending river, raising clouds of dust that linger in the air like the shadow of time. The sharp horns of the kudu cut through space, while in the tall grass, a cheetah lies in wait. Like a statue of patience, like a strike not yet unleashed. He waits. He won't run in vain. He knows the world belongs to those who can hold their breath before the leap. The Okavango is a river that never reaches the sea. It searches for a path, spilling into thousands of channels through forests and swamps, and for a moment, it feels as if nature has created its own paradise here. In the reeds, like hunters in ambush, herons and marabou storks stand still, scanning for prey. Above the water glides the African fish eagle, its call a song of these lands, a cry of freedom. At night, other voices rise. When the black sky drapes over the savannah like a blanket stitched with stars, the eerie cry of a hyena pierces the silence, a laugh that chills to the bone. A reminder that this land belongs not only to the strong, but to the patient, to those who know how to wait and take what is theirs when the moment arises. Botswana is not just a country, it is the wild, living soul of Africa. A place where nature speaks louder than man, where there is no city noise, no glass or concrete, only earth, sky, and the eternal struggle for life. Here, you will understand what true freedom feels like. And, perhaps for the first time, you'll feel what it means to be a part of something greater than yourself. The warm African sun gently brushes against the tall grass swaying in the breeze. The air is filled with a sense of the wild, and in the distance, the soft murmur of water spreads along the banks of a calm river. At the heart of this idyllic scene stands an antelope, proud, alert, her watchful gaze fixed on the horizon. She is not alone. At her slender legs, still weak from birth, a delicate newborn takes hesitant steps. Its damp fur glistens in the sunlight, and its trembling legs barely hold its weight. The mother's body is the only fortress shielding the little one from the unknown world. Her presence is warmth, protection, and the quiet assurance that even in the wilderness, there is a place for tenderness. She waits patiently as the baby attempts its first steps. Its ears twitch at every sound, and its dark eyes take in the world with a mix of wonder and anxiety. One more moment, and it will take another step. One more second, and its body will grow accustomed to the earth beneath its feet. And then, in just a few days, when its muscles gain strength and fear gives way to curiosity, it will run, truly run, feeling the joy of movement for the first time. But for now, this is only the beginning. The mother stands watchful while her trembling calf learns what it means to be a part of this world. A lioness, pressed close to the earth like a shadow, lies motionless among sparse bushes. Her eyes are fixed on the small figure of the antelope calf standing under its mother's protection. She waits. Her muscles are tense like drawn strings, tail stretched behind her, paws digging into the dry soil, leaving barely a trace. This is the moment when the whole world narrows down to a single target. Only the wind carrying the scent of prey. Only the heart pounding in her chest. The young calf takes another uncertain step. The grass sways gently around it as if inviting it to leave the mother's safe shadow. One heartbeat, and the lioness lunges forward. She doesn't sprint at full speed, not yet, trying to stay hidden as long as possible. Then, just when it seems everything is already decided, the mother antelope lowers her head towards the calf, as if giving silent instructions. And in a flash, she darts sideways, drawing the lioness's focus. A nimble leap tells the lioness all she needs to know. The chase will be fruitless. She stops. Meanwhile, the calf, still lying motionless in the tall grass, is quickly approached by a group of adult antelope, offering it shelter. The lioness, thinking it over, turns away. There's no need to waste strength. The savannah offers plenty of other opportunities. The scorching sun casts short shadows on the sandy banks, where the calm waters of the Okavango River slowly spread out. In the midst of the day's tension, when the savannah erupts in bursts of pursuit, only to fall into a haze of stillness, it is time for the oldest and wisest of its inhabitants to step forward. Out from behind the trees emerges a herd of elephants. Their massive bodies move with slow grace, carrying the confidence of those who have no natural enemies. The first to reach water are the adults. Powerful females, matriarchs of the family, the ones who know how to find water even in the harshest drought. They lower their trunks with care, drawing in tens of liters and then pouring it with pleasure into their open mouths. Among them, nestled between two giants, walks a calf. Its wrinkled skin still looks soft, like velvet, and its clumsy little trunk waves in all directions, trying to mimic the movements of the grown-ups. It watches its mother, lifts its trunk towards the air, and then tries to suck up water, but in the end, simply lowers its face to the river and awkwardly slurps. The herd drinks in silence, broken only by the occasional low, resonant rumbles that roll over the water like the earth itself speaking. Somewhere in the bushes, Antelopes freeze in alert stillness, watching the giants. Even the predators that had wandered nearby now retreat. No one dares disturb the elephants. They are the rulers of this land, the keepers of ancient memory. Suddenly, the young calf, captivated by the play of light on the water, slaps the surface with its trunk, sending droplets flying. It shakes its head with delight, unaware that years of travel and learning lie ahead. For now, there is only warm water, the gentle touch of its mother, and a carefree childhood in the heart of Africa. The elephants finish drinking. The eldest female, the matriarch, raises her trunk and slowly leads the group onward. Ahead lies the Okavango River, glistening peacefully in the last light of day. They've crossed this water many times before. It is their element, and they step forward with certainty, knowing that their bodies are made for such journeys. The adults enter the water first. Their heavy feet press into the soft riverbed, but their massive forms float with ease. The water also rises higher, and soon only their heads remain above the surface. They sway their trunks, sometimes taking in air, sometimes spraying water playfully around them. At the rear, near the shore, the young calf hesitates. Its legs tremble, and it looks at the wide river with distrust. The water seems too deep, the waves too strong. But the mother, already farther ahead, pauses and turns her head. A low, soft sound, almost inaudible to human ears, urges the calf forward. Its first steps are uncertain, the current tugging at its small frame, but it is not alone. Two adult females remain close, flanking the calf on either side. Their powerful bodies create a natural barrier, shielding it from being swept away. The calf kicks and splashes in the water with its short legs, and then suddenly realizes it isn't sinking. It's floating, moving without effort. Its trunk stretches upward, reaching for air, while its mother swims behind it, never taking her eyes off him. Finally, their feet touch land once again. They emerge on the opposite bank, wet, glistening in the evening light, water droplets trickling down their rough skin. The calf doesn't yet understand the significance of what just happened. It simply shakes off the water, swings its trunk playfully, and nudges its mother as if to ask, "That's it? That was all?" The sun stands high in the sky, scorching the savannah and driving every living creature to seek shade or cool relief. But for those unafraid of water, there's another solution: to plunge into the refreshing embrace of the Okavango River. Several adult elephants linger in the water, in no hurry to leave. They wade deeper, letting the cool waves wash over their broad backs. One of them, a powerful male, lifts his trunk and touches another's as if inviting him to play. The other responds in kind, their flexible trunks intertwined, and shimmering sprays of water shoot up around them. One elephant nudges the other with his side, as though testing his strength. His companion throws his head back and lets out a deep, low rumble that rolls across the water and dissolves into the hot air. It's not a threat, not a challenge, more like laughter, heavy, resonant, but filled with joy. One elephant dives deeper, leaving only the tip of his trunk above the surface, like a periscope. Then, in a sudden burst, he surfaces, flinging hundreds of sparkling droplets into the sun, diamonds in the air. The game goes on, as if they were young calves again, discovering the joy of water for the first time. Though these giants are grown, each bearing the scars of battles and long journeys, in this moment, they are nothing but carefree children of the river, basking in the present. Finally, one of them slowly emerges onto the bank, shaking the water from his heavy ears. The others follow. Their wet bodies glisten in the sunlight, leaving dark marks on the sand. One more moment, and they will return to being the majestic rulers of the savannah, solemn and resolute. But for now, only the laughter of water, the sparkle of spray, and the weightlessness that exists only in those rare perfect moments of joy when you can simply be yourself. The sun beats down mercilessly, and even after all the river games, the hot wind quickly dries the elephant's skin. But they know how to protect themselves from the heat and those blazing rays. Ahead lies a large pool filled with thick, warm mud, a true gift of nature, and one the elephants cannot resist. The adults enter first. They scoop the mud with their trunks, raise it high, and spray it over their backs, creating a natural shield against the sun and insects. Then, a mother elephant leans forward, lowers herself onto her side, and with a deep splash falls into the mud, sending up a dark, oozing fountain. The rest soon follow. Some simply lie down and rub the mud across their bodies, Others roll onto their backs, joyfully waving their legs in the air. A young calf hesitates at first. Its large ears tremble slightly, and its eyes study the pool with suspicion. But curiosity wins out, and it carefully steps forward. A group of elephants, content after their mud baths, slowly moves on. Their heavy steps kick up clouds of dust, while a young calf trots beside its mother, occasionally brushing her leg with its trunk, as if to make sure she's still nearby. Meanwhile, on the other side of the savannah, a large herd of African buffalo appears. They move in tight formation, like a living wave rolling across the plain. Their massive bodies sway with each step, and their powerful horns glint under the scorching sun. They are heading towards the river, to the very spot where the elephants had just been splashing moments before. The elephants notice the buffalo from afar. In their world, there is no hostility between species, but there's also no desire to share water, not if it can be avoided. Silently, the elephants halt, watching the newcomers. The eldest female, the wise matriarch, casts a long look at the approaching herd, assessing the situation, and then gives a quiet signal to move on. Their heavy, confident steps carry them deep into the savannah, where they disappear into the trees and tall grass. The buffalo, paying no mind to the elephants, continue towards the water. Their pace quickens. Thirst drives them on. The first reach the riverbank and plunge their muzzles into the water, gulping loudly. Some step farther in to cool down, while others remain on the shore, savoring the fresh water on this blazing day. The Okavango River is the heart of wild Africa. Each day, it becomes a refuge for the savannah's many creatures. Some arrive, others depart, leaving their footprints in the damp sand. and only the water flows endlessly, indifferent to change, to the laws of nature, and to the eternal cycle of life. Satisfied, the buffalo settle down to rest. They sink heavily to the ground, raising dust clouds that slowly drift and settle in the warm air. Their broad bodies cast long shadows across the grassy riverbank. One buffalo, it seems, has drifted into a deep sleep. His large head rests on the warm earth, and his chest rises and falls with slow, heavy breaths. Just then, a small guardian descends from the sky, a red-eyed oxpecker. It lands gently on the buffalo's head, balancing with its wings and carefully looking around. For the buffalo, it's just a peaceful moment. For the oxpecker, a chance to feast. The bird lowers its head and quickly, skillfully, begins picking tiny parasites from the thick fur. Its beak works tirelessly, like the tool of a skilled surgeon. The buffalo only twitches an ear, more out of habit than protest. He doesn't mind. This service is only to his benefit. The Okavango River flows gently across the African plains. Hippos, almost entirely submerged, resemble massive dark boulders hidden beneath the surface. Only their nostrils rise slightly above the water, releasing thin streams of mist into the cool air. A peaceful stillness blankets the savannah. Atop one of the hippos stands a heron, graceful, like a queen on her throne. She has stretched her long neck forward, staring into the distance with the focus of a ship's captain charting a course. The hippo seems unaware of his passenger, lost in thought or simply enjoying the warmth of the water. But the heron is not there by chance. She uses this giant as a floating island, the perfect vantage point from which to scan for prey while keeping her feet dry. She knows the hippo could dive at any moment, but as long as he remains calm, she can stay a little longer and float along with him. Around them unfolds a quiet harmony of the wild, where even such seemingly different creatures as the heavy hippos and the elegant herons move in sync, finding a shared rhythm in the endless symphony of Africa's great river. In the shade, hidden among the bushes, Lion cubs lie watching the movements of the hippos. Their amber eyes gleam with curiosity, but they don't dare leave the safety of their mother's side. The world is still full of mysteries for them, yet instinct is already awakened. They observe every moment, every splash of water, absorbing the silent lessons of the savannah. One of the cubs, tired from watching, stretches its paws out on the hot sand and closes its eyes. Another remains alert, staring into the distance, studying the world that will one day become its hunting ground. They are still too young to grasp the power they will one day possess, but there is already a hint of grace in their movements, the promise of future kings of the savannah. Their mother, dozing nearby, seems relaxed, yet her ears twitch at every sound. She hears everything. Even in sleep, her duty to protect her young never truly ends. The cubs can enjoy a moment of peace, knowing that in the shadow of her powerful body, they are completely safe. On the opposite bank of the river, a very different atmosphere reigns. Lionesses hunch over their kill, their muzzles smeared with dark blood, and their powerful jaws tirelessly tear into flesh. This is their reward after a long hunt, their rightful trophy, ripped from the wild savannah. One of the lionesses tilts her head back, licking her lips, then bends down again, sinking her teeth into the warm meat. Her sisters follow suit, each one eager to feast before the cubs or hyenas arrive, ready to scavenge what remains of the meal. Steam still rises from the carcass, and flies already buzz around, drawn by the scent of the feast. Somewhere nearby, a low growl echoes, perhaps a male lion coming to claim his share. But for now, this is the lioness's moment. A moment when strength and skill have brought them victory. They have earned it, and in the savannah, that is the only justice that matters. The sun stands high in the sky, the air is heavy and sweltering, and once again, the savannah reveals its merciless nature. Here, there is no regret, no compassion, only the endless cycle of life and death. On the green plain where the struggle raged not long ago, peace has now settled. So complete, even predators leave it undisturbed. The buffalo's body lies motionless, its dark hide already covered by a swarm of flies. thick fluid seeps from deep wounds. Its eyes have long gone still, and its mouth is frozen in the grim smile of death. No one knows how or why it fell, whether the lions chased it to exhaustion or it collapsed from illness. But for the scavengers, it doesn't matter. They know only this: nothing goes to waste in nature. Several vultures are already spreading their wings, engaging in a silent contest for a spot beside the torn body. One kicks up feathers, another plunges its sharp beak deeper, ripping at the tough hide. Their eyes are focused and empty, guided solely by instinct. In just a little while, only bones will remain. One vulture, without hesitation, thrusts its bald head straight into the open mouth of the dead buffalo. Its strong hooked beak deftly searches the insides, seeking out soft tissue. The vulture's eyes are blank, indifferent. It feels no disgust, no fear. This is its role in the great cycle of life on the savannah. All around, the flock is gathered. Some wait patiently for their turn. Others jostle and shove less fortunate rivals. Feathers whirl in the air, beaks snap. Winged bodies push and lurch in a struggle for access to the flesh. The silence of the savannah is broken only by the rustle of wings, the crunch of bone, and the distant cries of other creatures in this harsh but fair world. In nature, there is no waste. Even death serves the living. And this too is part of savannah life. Here, there is no space for mourning or reflection. The fallen become food for others. It has always been this way, and it will remain so as long as the sun shines over these lands. The waters of the Okavango churn, swirling around the massive bodies of crocodiles. Their armored backs glisten in the sunlight as their powerful jaws tear into a carcass, spinning it helplessly in the river's grip. One predator clamps down on a chunk of meat and begins to twist violently, driving its teeth in deeper, ripping the flesh apart with ruthless precision. Others, drawn by the scent of blood, press in, each fighting for their share. On the riverbank, nestled among tall grass, stands a heron. She looks down, but shows no fear. Her long legs remain perfectly still, while her thin beak twitches slightly as if lost in thought. She knows that after the crocodiles are done, much will remain. Her time will come. The water darkens with spreading stains, and the chaos in the river folds seamlessly into the familiar rhythm of the wild. In this world, there is no regret, no pity, only life moving forward without pause. A mother baboon walks slowly along a rocky path, carefully watching the way ahead. Her infant clings tightly to her belly, gazing at the world with wide, innocent eyes. He knows that here, near his mother, nothing can harm him. His tiny fingers grasp her thick fur, and his slender tail hangs down, swaying with her every step. Behind them, on soft, nimble feet, follows a young relative. His curious eyes are full of wonder, and his flexible body is taut with excitement at the world around him. He strives to keep up, to stay close, to feel the warmth of family. Their path leads to the water, where the troop will find shade and rest. The little monkey clutches his mother's fur, burying his face in her warm embrace. His wide eyes, full of awe and curiosity, peer out at a world filled with unknown mysteries. He doesn't yet know fear, because here in her arms, the world feels safe. Sunbeams filter through the dense canopy above, casting a golden glow across their fur. In the soft blurred light behind them, another baboon watches, perhaps an older relative or a family friend, guarding the peace of this fragile moment. In a world where survival is a daily battle, moments like these are the most precious gift. As long as there is a mother's love, the smallest life can feel safe from all the dangers of the great wild heart of Africa. Beneath the blazing African sun, life by the river flows as it always has. Each inhabitant of this land is busy in their own way, and together they form the rhythm of the wild, free, relentless, and beautiful. On the riverbank, bent low to the water, a baboon drinks to quench his thirst. His dark fur glistens in the sunlight, and his long tail twitches involuntarily, helping him maintain balance. He remains alert, knowing that the river keeps its secrets, and at any moment, something unseen, a predator born of water, could rise from its depths. But thirst overcomes fear, and the baboon lowers his face once more into the cool water. Meanwhile, another female settled among the rocks gently cradles her infant. It is still tiny, a pink face, enormous trusting eyes, and little fingers curled into her fur. Her hands move with steady care. This role is familiar. Generation after generation, baboon mothers tend to their young, nurturing the future of the troop. A little farther off, In a tight circle, young baboons carry out their morning ritual, carefully grooming one another, picking out tiny insects from each other's fur. It's more than just hygiene. It's connection, friendship, support. Each of them knows that in this harsh world, survival belongs to those who have a strong bond nearby. That's why these simple rituals are no meaningless game. They are the foundation, the cement that holds their community together. Not far off, an old female baboon has paused beside her restless youngster. The little one is bursting with energy, still unaware of how harsh the world can be. With delight he plays, pawing at the air, amusing himself with his own tail. The mother watches him calmly. Her eyes hold more knowledge than she would ever wish for, but her gaze is full of patience. She gives her child the freedom to explore, yet remains ready to protect him from any danger. A day in the baboon troop is not spent only searching for food or grooming. In wild Africa, everyone has a role. Some quench their thirst. Some raise their young. And some strengthen their bonds of friendship. Everything obeys an invisible, ancient order. And that order is perfect. In the bushes of the savannah, an old skeleton stood, a silent remember of the cycle of life. Its once mighty owner had long since become part of the earth, yet even now, its bones did not go unnoticed. The first to approach the remains was a vulture. He moved slowly, almost ceremonially, as if paying respect to the fallen creature. His bald head trembled with impatience, but his eyes stayed wary. Was someone else creeping up on this rotten yet still desirable feast? He delivers the first cautious peck. A few scrapes of flesh could still be pulled away. The rib cage of this once powerful beast rattled softly under the strikes of his beak. But he was not the only scavenger drawn to the scene. From the brush, stepping softly over the dry earth, emerged a pair of black-backed jackals. The vulture instantly gave up his spot. One jackal's eyes gleamed with cunning as his slender snout stretched toward the curved ribs. He sniffed, then tried a tentative bite. The skeleton shifted, just slightly, and startled him for a moment. But honestly, there wasn't much left to enjoy. The day in the savannah fades, leaving only the glow of the sun lingering on the horizon. The air, which only moments ago shimmered with heat, gradually fills with the coolness of night. Shadows stretch and melt into the thickening dusk. The Okavango River carries its waters through the darkness, sweeping away the stories of the day just past. Its surface shimmers with reflections of stars, appearing one by one in the velvety sky. The rustle of reeds blends with the quiet lapping of waves, while the wind glides over the plain, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and distant rains. The night savannah is far from silent. It lives in sound and motion, in the moonlight and deep shadows. As one day comes to an end, another already waits for its time, hidden in the darkness.